Cottonwood Ranch and Kennel, Crawford, Colorado. Today is a story about a famous dog named Skadi. Anyway, Skadi's a yellow Labrador. She's now about 12 years old, still with us. But years ago, Skadi was delivered by my dad one day, and he called me and told me that he was going to be delivering Skadi. Just so happened I was off the ranch that day, or for a couple days, and my wife Vanessa and my daughter Lily were here watching the ranch for me. And well, Skadi was delivered, and unbeknownst to Vanessa, my dad put her Skadi back in the kennel back there with his other dog, another beautiful yellow Labrador, and went on his way. Nobody was here. It was okay. Later that afternoon, my wife Vanessa and Lily came home, and up our mile-long driveway, they started to run into a dog here and thought it was unusual. And then there was a couple more dogs they ran into on the way up the driveway, and then further up there's even more dogs, and eventually there's dogs everywhere running around when they arrived here. All dogs running around chaos. So turns out that Skadi was delivered here, and we always know that Skadi requires a special clip on her kennel, which was not put on there. So Skadi went ahead and undid the special dog latch that's supposed to be dog proof, and got herself out, and then went down the line inside the kennel and opened up every latch for all the other dogs. Inside now, both buildings. So both buildings inside now, a total of 40-some dogs were let loose, thanks to Skadi. So when Vanessa and Lily drove up, there were dogs everywhere, except for Skadi was sitting inside of her kennel with her dog door wide open, sitting inside the kennel watching all the chaos. And in the meantime, my wife and Vanessa and Lily had their hands full collecting dogs, and took up to 6 hours to collect all those black Labradors with red collars and figure out who was who. So they called me that night and told me what had happened, and I was so apologetic because I forgot to tell them that, Skadi requires that extra latch, the clip. So just put the clip on there. She can't get out. You'll be safe. So they went ahead and did that night. And the next day, all seemed well, and they took care of everything until later that afternoon. They looked outside, and again, there's a bunch of dogs running around in all directions. And what Skadi had done this time was jumped over the 7-foot wall on the inside over into the other kennel, and opened that one, and then proceeded to open up all kennels inside, and then went to the outside of that building, opened up each one outside, and then of course went to the second building inside and out. Again, 40-some dogs running loose 2 days in a row. Whew, so Vanessa and Lily at this time got it figured out who's who. It took them only a couple hours this time to collect all the dogs. They called me again in a panic saying, what are we going to do? And I said, listen. Third day, I said, listen, Skadi doesn't even need a kennel. She doesn't go anywhere. Just put her in a nice yard. It's a nice, beautiful summer day. She'll sit in the yard and be a good dog. She doesn't run away. So they go ahead and do that. They're having a nice morning, and Skadi is hanging out in the yard being a beautiful yellow Labrador. I guess after a while she got bored and got up and went over and walked over to the kennel, which is just about 50 yards away over there, and proceeded for the third day in a row to let every dog out inside and out of both buildings. And again, was just sitting watching it all. So after 3 days, there was nothing we could do other than to ship Skadi home, and hopefully she won't be back. She does come back on occasion for visits, but we keep a close eye on Skadi. Anyway, an incredibly smart dog, and truly believes that all dogs belong in kennels. Thanks. This is Ted at CottonwoodRancha and Kennel.